my dome. Concrete walls, yeah, it's my home. Stockpile stacked with rations tight. Prep for the dark, we'll light the fight. Forage the woods, take what I need. Off-grid living, no time for greed. Barter goods in the shadow shade. Tactical steps in plans I've laid. Back to the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepared for the fall. Yeah, prepared for it all. Generators hum, a comforting sound. Blackout nights when chaos surrounds. Seeds in jars, yeah, we're growing life. Homesteading strong in a time of strife. No high-tech wires, no web to roam. Resilience beats the world unknown. Hands in the soil, hearts in the fight. Staying ready every day, every night. Back to the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepare for the fall. Yeah, prepare for it all. Back through the bunker where the truth won't bend. Water and food where the road might end. Bug out bags by the door, stand tall, prepare for the fall. Yeah, prepare for it all. Prepare for it all. When central power rules the game, when thoughts controlling freedom's name, when the governed lose to government might, tell me who's got the wrong kind of Reich? He builds his cars, he mines the stars. No gulags for critics, no bureaucratic charge, no youth brigades chanting his name. Yet somehow he's taking all the blame. 1933 Berlin, the Reichstag burned. Bring up race, grab control, lessons aren't learned. When thought gets silenced and merit gets banned, ain't it funny who's holding the matches in hand?
It's good to see you. That is the wrong chat. I want to personally thank Mr. Huther for keeping the lights on. Let me check my sound here, because I believe my microphone is doing some weird stuff. As you can tell, the background is different. Things are sounding kind of hollow. I'll explain here in a second. Let me double check this microphone real quick here, because things are weird. Yeah, that's the right one. I don't have. I need to turn that off. Let's hide that. Let's see here, and then I'm going to get the real chat in here, but I want to leave that one up there for a second so that you guys can all see that Tim is paid for the stories of the hats. There will be no Grand Poobah today, Tim, but I will give you 2 hat stories. And the reason is because, as you can tell in the background, things are very, very different. Before we go any further, I just want to say hi to everybody. This chat will not let me look at everybody. Come on, man. Really? Looks like Tina. And obviously it's going to be different than before. But Tina, in the right now, Tina, first, Tim Huther, number 2, fishing guy. You're deterred. There we got here, Super Bowl Sunday. Not really a follower of the Super Bowl or sports. Um, it's the way I'm programmed. There's actually a lot of videos on people like me on how we look at things. This is a super hobo setup, basically. All right, let's see here. We got Cole who showed up. I know Cole was there. I got the Lambs Light. Good morning. We got Richard Jackson. Good to see you, bro. Where are we? Where are? And thank you, Tim. We got Will Smith. Tucson Prepper showed up. And Prepper for the Ages. Hello. One of you is brand new, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and we can go from there. Greatly appreciated. If the things move around, it's because I have everything set up on a table exactly like that. Exactly like that. So things might move if I get excited. So I'll try not to. I have a very limited setup here. I do have a good camera, but I don't. But it's like I said, there's a lot of stuff. All right, let's see here. Did you already move? Cole, no, I did not already move. So if you guys didn't know, I've had a property in North Carolina for a long time. Like, basically, it's a full setup. It could turn into a homestead inside of a month if I really wanted to flip the switches. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it's over 6 acres. It's all wooded. It's surrounded. I'm only 20 minutes from a Walmart, but I'm buried in the woods. People leave me alone where I am here in North Carolina. But we're going to be moving. If you saw in the very first one, the very first thumbnail, we're going to be moving. We're going to be moving for a couple of reasons. But I guess one of the big ones that is the heat working as it should? No, it is not. This house, the heat pump went out on it a couple of years back. That's one of the reasons that we don't spend a lot of time here, especially during the winter. During the summers, it gets hot as balls here too. But so we've got space heaters in every room. They do the job. I got a nice little one over there. You close the door, the room heats up reasonably well. Sometimes I actually have to like open the door. How is my sound? Because I'm using this camera that I use has its own has its own microphone. So I'm sure there's a slightly hollow sound from the room being empty, as you can see. It sounds awful. It's awful. Let me know in the chat. Let's see here. Cole says Virginia Democrats are trying to destroy it. New gun control laws. Yeah, that's a big reason. It's not just the gun control laws. Virginia has had gun control law issues for years. The sound isn't as loud as usual. Man, it's coming out red on my bar. Let me crank it up a little bit more. Let me crank it all the way over. I just don't like, if I push it all the way over, it goes deep into the red. So I'm going to drop it maybe 7 dB. All right, so 0.7 dB. Anyway, so yeah, Virginia is it's going a little stupid. It's getting a little stupid. I wonder if I've always wanted to be able to. The chat is not that you see on the screen is not reflective of what you guys are doing, because if I try to interact with it, it's basically going to tell me, go away. Basically, I got to sign up. If I hit that sign up the chat button, it's going to tell me otherwise. But I do have a live chat open over here, and I can see everything you guys are typing. So don't worry if it doesn't show up on the screen. Sound isn't bad. As usual, I can hear you. Different but working. Okay. Sounds crisp but a little tinny. That would be expected from a webcam microphone. I posted a video about new Virginia taxes. Yeah. They're going full tilt boogie. It scared the crap out of them. They lost the governorship. They lost the legislation. And now they've got it all back. And now they are going full tilt boogie to try to get as many of these ridiculous laws in place as they possibly can. In fact, I've also heard some word about them trying to make laws that are unrepealable because, it's typical story of these blue counties. They want to turn Virginia deep, dark blue. That's what they want to do. And so it's time to get out of there. If you guys did answer the question from the last live stream that didn't work, by the way, the problem with that live stream was there's something called a stream uh, a stream code, and I'm trying. There's another name for it too. It's a more technical thing, but anyway. So it's like this crazy set of numbers that says, "Hey, I'm this guy, and I want to go stream right here." That tells everybody they're there. That way, nobody can steal. If somebody steals it, they can literally stream right onto your. If you give me your stream code, I can use my software and stream right onto your channel. So yeah, and I couldn't find it. They have freaking moved it. It took me forever to find the damn thing. But getting back on point, if you have not answered the question in the chat, please do so now. I'm sorry that you may have to do it twice. But, you know, it is what it is. Right now, the question is, are you willing to move if your state goes full on socialist? 75% say yes, 25% say no, but total of 12 votes, which is not bad. I'm not going to be teaching you anything new here, so that's literally pretty much a simple yes or no question. It's going to get really bad really fast in the state of Virginia. They're talking as these crackdown laws, or they're talking as soon as July this year. They're coming after everybody and everything that is either conservative or anything that is conservative value oriented. And it's just not a safe place to be anymore. It's not. You know, we had under Governor Youngkin and under the legislature, they were fair, they were balanced. They didn't make any crazy, hey, liberals are nutbag laws. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go after anybody. They made it so that they could cooperate with the federal government. No, they've gone completely backwards. I mean, completely backwards from that particular time period, which was literally just months ago. No, it's been 1 month. It's been 1 month since they took over. So it's crazy. Lambs, where are we at here? As soon as I retire, I plan to move back to Ohio, if not sooner. I got you, Tim. I got you. You know, Harry says, "Hey, Harry, what's going on, man? Make sure you guys are hitting subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Once again, I apologize. I'm at the property in North Carolina. I do have high-speed internet. I do have all the things here, but I just don't spend a lot of time here. So the walls are kind of empty. You know what I'm saying? I don't have my full setup here, but that's okay because things are changing anyway. You guys will find out tonight. I'm going to drop a video tonight. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Things are going to change on this channel. Let's see here. Harry says a national divorce has been discussed before. I'm all for it. That's not the issue, Harry. That's not the issue. The issue is that we keep electing these liberal nutbags that are wolves in sheep's clothing. You know, the writing is on the wall for Spanberger. You know, it's like this was not just like hate speech. This wasn't like, you know, electoral time, you know, jibber jabber, you know, what do they call it? Smearing or mud tactics. No, it was not it. Everything you would see on the TV about her, 100% true. 100% true. Yes, she was a police officer. Yes, she worked for the Secret Service, or I'm sorry, the CIA. Yes, she was I believe, a senator. Okay, all true, but all the other crazy stuff was absolutely true. There's video about her like wearing a bag over her head during COVID, like little nutbag stuff that you can't take out of context. Day one, 10 executive orders that either started task force that will accomplish nothing, that will cost the taxpayer money, and or turning off stuff that Governor Youngkin turned on to work with the federal government. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You guys can fully expect once they're finished in Minnesota, I would expect either Chicago or even here that, you know, I'm sorry, not here, but in Virginia. I believe that they're going to send a couple thousand little green men over to Virginia to take care of some of these problem spots like Halifax County, and where these illegal aliens are feeling as if they're safe because of Spamberger. Let's see here. Sure, it's I live. Lamb's Light says I live in solid blue county in Western North Carolina. Unfortunately, it's very obvious. You would think that in Western North Carolina that you wouldn't have these problems. You know what I'm saying? But if you're anywhere near Charlotte, yeah, it's a problem. Sean showed up. What's going on, Sean? I'm waiting for my daughter to graduate from college before I move out of Illinois. Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about. But I mean, unless you're getting a specific benefit from being a resident, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you're paying less college tuition because you're a resident. I get it, you know. But if you're not, then that's not a reason. That's not a reason. You know that there's a huge difference between waiting for somebody to graduate from college and waiting for somebody to graduate from high school, and having that same ideology applied to both. It's not the same. Let's see here. There we go. Lamb's like, oh, we get what they voted for. Yeah, we get what they voted for. You know, there were some jokes in one of the chats like last week. You know, like when I started talking about this a little bit, just trying to figure out how fast or how, you know, if there was even any way of slowing these people down. And and there was like, well, you get what you vote for. Like it's somehow my fault that we just let a complete nutbag of office. You know, we saw this under Obama. We saw this under Biden. We let these crazy people in. They come in and pretend they're moderates, and then as soon as they get into office, they start doing stupid shit. You know, it's crazy. Let's see here. Cole says we don't vote blue in North Carolina, but the rhinos consistently win. That's true. That's true. Oops. Hey, what's going on, Oops? Oops says consistently, or was that beyond idiocracy? Well, this is worse because in the idiocracy scenario, people are just stupid. A lot of that doesn't make any sense. You know, it's like the medical technology. Who made that? You know what I'm saying? Oh, wrong one. Who made that? Somebody really smart made that. Um, um, but this is clearly this is this is like, I hate to say this, but it's kind of like evil. It's kind of like evil because they've polarized everything, and you're either doing something good or you're doing something bad, and that's evil. You know, I was talking to the girlfriend today. We went out for breakfast and we were talking, and she was telling me about a friend of hers that has has told everybody on Facebook that if they are conservative leaning, to stop following her. It's beginning again. It's beginning all again. And I'll tell you the same thing that I told her. People that say stuff like that are tired of being told that they're wrong. So they're putting themselves in an echo chamber so they don't have to listen to you tell them or show them how wrong they are. And that's not based on opinion. Those things are based on fact. I always challenge the left. And when they try to, try to have a conversation with me, because I'm trying to have a conversation, they're just trying to prove me wrong. To just list one good thing that their governor or their senator or their representative or whoever it was in government that had a D next to the name. Tell me one good thing they did for their constituents. And one good thing. And then they're normally just racist, or they'll just say racist, or you don't understand. You're right. I don't understand because what you're saying is stupid. It doesn't make any sense. That's not an opinion. That's logic. But anyway, let me go back to the chat here. Lamb's Light says there are pockets of blue in North Carolina and Buncombe County as one. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. You know, North Carolina had a well, if you remember, we had our blue governor this last time. I don't know who's the governor now. Like I said, I'm moving back to North Carolina because I have this property. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know who the governor is. I don't even know what the makeup of our legislature in the state of North Carolina is anymore. Because I mean, it could have gone completely blue. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm not hearing about any crazy ass laws coming out of North Carolina. I think it'd be very difficult to get the firearms away from anybody in North Carolina. I mean, they tried one time. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. Let's see here. Cole says, I live in rural North Carolina, about 45 miles from Charlotte, and we are smart enough to vote red. Yeah, generally, once you get into the woods, the back roads, everything turns red. The Lamb's Light says, the reason it's blue here is all the retired moving here, and it's a homeless mecca. Huh, retired? Hey, in local government or stay in local government. That's our fault. I'm a native near Asheville. I got you. Yeah, I mean, and that sucks too because Asheville used to be a pretty great place. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see here. Cole, you're saying we're dumb here. I don't think so. I don't think so. If you vote blue, you are dumb. I hate to, it's like, so I really hate this red versus blue thing. I really do because there's a lot of people. Like, let's say you're in the chat right now and you're a Democrat, okay? And you're like having a conversation with everybody here. You're listening to what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? You're commenting like an adult. Um, you're not. You're not, regardless of what it says in your voter registration, you're not a Democrat because the Democrat Party has been supplanted with socialist values. It's not that they've gone far left. It's not that the fringe has gone way far to the left, you know what I'm saying, to control things. It's not like, oh, there's only a handful of people controlling the entire party. No, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. It's called the Overton window, and it has changed so drastically in the last 10 years that the Democrat Party is not what it used to be 10 years ago. There's no way around it. It's the absolute truth. They're factual. I literally have to explain the Overton window to you to make you understand. But there is a 100% divide, and now there's no real left or there's no real right because it used to be like this thing that went up to the middle, and then you would have the Overton window, and it would slide left and right depending on the values of that particular area, like a nation or a state or a county or whatever it is, right? Now everything is separated, and now instead of you having this value, this arch in the graph, you have these two bubbles down here, and the Overton window can't reach both sides anymore. You see what I'm saying? Because it's too small. So let's see here. Too big city control the states. That's true. I think that's awful. I think that counties. I think that there should be a system that allow counties, okay, to have a county vote, and if that county vote does not match the populist vote, then there should be a problem. There should be a problem. There should be like a state electoral college where the votes really do matter. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Ash Food. Oh yeah, I forgot. We have John Stein. He is a veteran. Is John Stein the governor now? I mean, I don't. Yeah, I guess I better look this shit up, right? Governor. And see. I know that that one guy who was the lieutenant governor. He was the Overton one who identifies as Flat Matt now. Governor of North Carolina signed the office January 1st. So he just got member of he's a Democrat, so we're back under Democrat rule. I tell you the one thing that really scares me about Virginia and North Carolina, they have an incestuous relationship, and the stuff that they can pass in Virginia, if they pass it, the Democrats in North Carolina like to copy their shit. Yeah, and that could be a problem too. Let's see. A few big cities. Lambslight says, I do, and everyone I know does too. We are a retirement mecca, and there's too many of them coming here to here voting blue. Let's see. Josh Stein. Asheville was truly the land of sky. Now it's very much Trashville. Oh, that sucks. I live in Black Mountain, Winona, about 15 miles from Trashville. We got ruined by heli. Oh yeah, yeah. The Overton window don't identify as window anymore. The Overton window identifies as flat mat now. Harry says, went to Newland, North Carolina after Helene. Great people, felt good helping out. I never saw a single nose ring. It's very true. It's a hole. Josh Stein is blue. It's true. It's true. You know that the funny thing too is if he's just because he's whatchamacallit, a veteran does not mean that everything's going to be fine. Let's see here. Residence Raleigh. He lives in here. So he lives in Raleigh. No, that's where his seat is. Executive Mansion. Member of the City of State Council of States. Lieutenant Governor. Deputy. Line of succession. Period. Fifth Provisional, 1868. Why are you telling me about this crap? Go out the governor of North Carolina. All right. John Stein. Let's do him, and let's go to the old Wikipedia. So Wikipedia tell me everything I want to know about this turd. John Stein. There were so many officers that are of enlist or of the appropriate age, you would think, to go into Congress, to go into big government, that were basically Obama era officers that came up under Obama, and they're a problem. They're a big, big problem. Let's see here. Stein served as the 51st Attorney General of North Carolina from 2017 to 2025. Yeah, I remember this turd. He was like petitioning the Supreme Court to like get rid of our guns and all sorts of shit. I remember this guy. Let's see here. Early life and education, Chapel Hill, Dartmouth. Jesus, of course, he's got a bachelor's degree in history from Dartmouth. Let's see, English in after college, he taught English and economics in Zimbabwe. He earns degrees from Harvard Law School and Kennedy School of Government. So he's not former military. He's a freaking lawyer. So he's not a vet. Let's see, Control F, and there. He's not a veteran. All right, see, let's see, Overton window, went to do Heights, Josh Stein is blue, Pelicans control the house, so we're safe. Okay, that's good to hear, Cole. That's good to know, man. Thank you. That was going to be my next question. Miko, what's up, Miko Wolf? Good to see you, bro. Digital ID and voter ID. Make sure you're a citizen first. You got a lot of people voting and shouldn't be voting. Yeah, exactly. Landslide said, put the brains in the country are but the brains in the country are building sidewalks in Swinona at 2.9 million. I guess people need sidewalks instead of their houses. You know, 2.9 million is not a lot of money to be spending on housing projects, to be honest with you. And the cost of building houses is through the roof. But I see the logic, I see the thought process behind it. I just don't. So, hey, is Tim in here? Yeah, there he is. Tim, I haven't seen you post anything. My bad. I was wrong about the veteran part. Yeah, no worries, Cole. I was just curious. I figured I'd look it up. I wasn't looking to prove anybody wrong about anything. God knows, I'm one of the last people to do that crap. It's like the grammar police. I hate those kind of people. It's not W-E-R-E. It's W-E-apostrophe-R-E. Snart, snart, snart. It's those kind of people that I freaking absolutely dislike. Completely dislike. Tim's here, so still here. Okay, so we're up to 13 votes. Are you willing to move if your state goes full socialist? 77% say yes, 23% say no. I know that there's at least one of you that would never move because you say you're too old. Understandable. A lot of people can't do it. I'm lucky enough to be able to do it myself. It's not. I don't think it's really a principles issue with me. It's just I have the opportunity to not be in a place that's about to go severely downhill. We are county. We don't need sidewalks. Never had them. We don't even have a grocery store or a post office since Helene. I believe that. I believe that. Some of the, but it's like so. Here's the thing, Lamps. Like anybody who complains about local government is telling me that they're not being active with their local government. You're not going to, so I won't say you, but I will say these people are not going to the local government council meetings. They're not reading the local council's website and their plans site. They're not doing any of that stuff. When there's a town that's near here and they had planned to build this bypass that went around the town. the town kind of depended on people to drive through here, especially during the tourist season, right? This town, right? And so the law required that the plans be placed, basically shown, were in public view. So what they did was they didn't want anybody to know about this, so they hung the plans, all right, in a basement on a corkboard. Whoosh, big drawings, dates, everything you need, right? And then they put these little signs from the basement, and they're literally like arrows, like from 1945, saying current plans, current, basically follow the arrows, right? No one even knew it was there, but they legally did everything they were supposed to do. Now that thing came and went. It's up. I just, when we were driving through a couple days ago, I kind of like, oh crap, what is this? You have to exit off the highway to get down into this town, right? And so we ended up driving like, Jesus, like 8 miles out of our way, and then had to loop back to go to this little town. We're gonna get some stuff from the store, right? My point is that if people are not active in their governments, when they spend $2.9 million on a sidewalk that no one wanted except for some people that want to have a sidewalk, there's a problem. There's a problem. Let's see here. I'm 70 and I would sell out and get the hell out. Hey, what's up, Mike? Good to see you, bro. Let's see here. Everybody, hope everything gets fixed in your town. Miko says everybody here is complaining. They don't leave. They don't even vote. The funny thing is, half of them can't vote. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, how people are controlling where we live, what our lifestyles will be like, the money that our tax dollars are spending, are being spent on, and they're not even U.S. citizens. It's a serious problem. It's an absolute serious problem. But yeah. Okay, so if you guys didn't know this, on the previous live stream, that was like totally a debacle. I couldn't figure out where the stream key was, but got all fixed up. It got all fixed up. I cannot tell how many people are in here right now, guys, because like I said, Tim has already paid for everything. Chat, I don't even have a goal up right now. So I got 2 hats, and I'll give you 2 stories. Okay. LP, I've been as active as possible, no issues at this time in my life situation. I'm trying to live as well as possible. I'm discontent, but can't fight every fight. That's true. That's true. It's true. And it wasn't a criticism. It was just, it's all about how serious you are about things, and some people aren't. So, and you know who I'm talking about. So, all right. So, let's see here. First hat. First hat. This one right here is one of my favorite hats. I don't get to wear it because it will fall apart. That says precarious. That's a big old shark and some teeth and all that stuff. And on the back of it, it says right here, let me get that here. Diving the white sharks. Zanzibar, South Africa. So when I was on active duty, I had the opportunity to dive with the great white sharks. It's straight. It feels straight, but I think I got a bad camera anyway. And I don't wear this hat very often because you can see it's starting to fall apart. It's just old. And I tell you what, if you ever want to feel how small you are in the world, get in the water with one of these creatures. They will make you feel like you are so insignificant that you mean nothing. And it's welcome to my world. And I can eat you anytime I want to. Yeah, great white sharks are no joke. They are the ultimate apex predator. And these little aluminum cages that they put people in, if you really piss one of them off, they can twist that thing up like a tin can if they want to, like an aluminum Coke can, no problem. So I bought this from that shop after I went diving with him. But anyway, very interesting experience. And the we went out to where they were. If you ever watch like Shark Week or National Geographic, they talk about Shark Alley. That's where it is. Um, so we're out on this boat, and it's maybe a 20-foot, 23-foot boat. It's nothing huge. Got the cage hanging off the side. The cage is like cylindrical. It's like a giant Coke can made of bars, and and it's just got this little hole in the top of it, big enough to get a human being through, right? And um, it's hanging off the side of the boat, and we're getting in and out of it, and the water's cold, so you can't stay in there for very long, even though you have a wetsuit on, you got weights on, you're just kind of like sitting inside this cage waiting for a shark to come, right? And we're chumming for him. We got chum hanging off the back, right hand side of the boat, and ever was like in and out of this cage, and the it got to the point where it's like there's going to be no sharks, and their policy is normally if no sharks show up, you get to come back for free. But since it's South Africa, I wasn't going to be coming back. You know what I'm saying? And so I had just got out. I had taken my weight belt off. I've taken my mask off, and I'm just wearing this wetsuit, right? And then all of a sudden, freaking, the curse. And it's like, oh, and you can see this fin out there. And this thing is a beast. This thing is easily 12 feet long. This is a big shark. And so everybody's looking at everybody like, oh shit. And I'm standing right next to the cage on the boat, right? And I jump into the cage, like feet first, right? Mid-air, I realize that what I'm doing is incredibly stupid. What if I miss this hole? You know what I'm saying? But I didn't, and I went straight in. Right now, I'm wearing a wetsuit, and the wetsuits basically float. I didn't have my weight belt on, right? So I'm like grabbing the bars and pulling myself. I literally had to put my mask on in the water, and I had to grab the bars and pull myself down and hold myself down underwater so I could see this shark, right? Um, and that's when I realized that if this shark actually wants to like rub its teeth or whatever up against my hands, I'm going to lose all my fingers. So I'm just like, oh, please don't die. Don't die today. I really want to keep my hands. But anyway, this shark comes past me just as slow as possible. And I mean, it was just like this. Like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? I could have reached out and touched this shark. I could have reached through the cage and touched the shark. Um, Pretty awesome experience. And it really pisses me off because I had actually brought, you can buy those little waterproof cameras that are, the old 110s. And I had bought like 3 of those things. So I have like these pictures someplace that I can't find of that event in my life, you know. Uh, there was a little pee. No, there was no pee. I was too excited. There was too much adrenaline. Let's see here. Let's see here. Thanks, Cole. I was in a room with great white sharks once. I visited U.S. Congress. That's funny. LP fishing lure. LP, were you a Navy diver? My dad was a lifetime Navy swab. No, I was active duty Marine Corps at the time. And we were on the Navy calls them cruises. We were basically on mission. We were Special Force MAGTF, and we just happened to be. We had moved. We had gone down. We were all over the east and west coast of South America, and then over to Africa. And then we were doing stuff over there, but we had the opportunity to get off the boat, and they'll try and hook us up so we don't go crazy. You know, actually I had a choice between doing that or climbing Machu Picchu, And I was trying to do both. I almost pulled it off, but they're like, it wouldn't be fair. My schedule allowed me to do both, and I could pay for both, right? But they said it wouldn't be fair if I was able to do both of them. So I was like, Roger that. I'll go swim with the sharks. So that's what we did. Let's see. Eric says the only thing you take with you when you die is memories. Make it good ones. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It was definitely a memorable experience, and it's one thing. It's like when you walk into this a room of 1,000 people and say, "Is there one thing that you've done that you know everybody else in this room hasn't done?" And that's one of them. That's one of them. Second hat. Second hat. This one right here. There's a lot of people that have done this, but there's not a lot of people that have these hats. This is Gotemba. This is Mount Fuji, Japan. And the only place you can buy this hat is on the PX at Camp Fuji in Okinawa, or I'm sorry, in mainland Japan. I've climbed Mount Fuji twice. Um, and it's always, it feels like it's straight, but I'm like the camera's in a weird spot, so it looks like it's not fitting right. But yeah, I've got my Fuji sticks. When you climb Mount Fuji, you can stop at each one of the rest stations at the different altitudes, and they'll brand your stick for a certain amount of yen. Like I said, I have climbed Mount Fuji twice. I have the sticks. And the interesting story on the Mount Fuji climb is very typical American, where you're climbing up this mountain, right? It's like this trail, this narrow trail. It's like this wide, right? And so you're climbing up this trail, and it's serpentining up the side of Mount Fuji because there's no way you can walk straight up. It's way too steep. Um, and there's enough room for you to go up and enough room for somebody to come down. And you'll get about a quarter way up, and you'll start to see like 80-year-old grandmas and grandpas and children, like 5-year-old children, and you're huffing and puffing because you've never done anything like this in your life, right? And they're laughing at you. They're laughing at you. There are people in Japan who see Mount Fuji as an annual pilgrimage, and they go there and they do that. They go there and do that. But it's interesting too because it's like there's a lot of false summits where you're like, oh, and then it's like, oh, there it is. This has got to be it. And then you get there, it's like, oh no, you don't know until you get there. On the top of Mount Fuji, there is a post office. And what you normally do is you'll mail yourself a letter or mail somebody a letter from the top of Mount Fuji, and then you'll get like the little postage stamp on it. Or it's not like a that kind of stamp, not a that kind of stamp. And there's also some monks that live up there. But the worst story, it's one of the worst hikes of my life. We climbed Mount Fuji. We started way too late in the day. And the plan was for us to climb up one side, and then you can come down on another side, and the buses were going to meet you on the other side, right? And so when we started down, um, well, first of all, sitting at around 12,000 feet. I want to say what is this? It'll say it on here. 12,272 feet. There you go. There you go. You get it just sitting there at a rest station at 10,000 feet, taking huffs of oxygen, cans of oxygen. Um, is just this weird feeling to be sitting with your butt on the ground, staring out over the top of clouds. It's a very interesting thing, you know. Um, but we were coming down the other side in the dark, and you could see the trail. It was very clear skies, moonlit, that kind of thing, right? And you could see the trail, but coming down, you start to get this feeling like it's never going to end. And on the back side of it is nothing like the front side. The front side is a trail, it's edge, there's rocks, things to climb down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you're good. But down on the backside of Gotemba, which is the name of Mount Fuji, um, it's all this flat, one single lane trail through packed lava dust, lava rock dust, right? It's absolutely awful. And then, so if you're not staying away from people, you're going to eat their dust literally. And then I was wearing these just of like above ankle hike boots. Absolutely worst decision. Every like 15 minutes, I would have to stop and empty my boots out of all this lava rock gravel that was inside of my boot. It was absolutely awful. Um, and it just felt like it was going on forever. And by the time we got to the bottom, it was like almost midnight, and the buses were there, but we were one of the first people to get down there, and we still had 60 people that were still up on the mountain coming down. So we just went to sleep went to sleep once we got on the bus. We're like, wow, just drank as much of whatever we could find to rehydrate ourselves. I think we got back and did, around 2 or 3 in the morning, that kind of thing, because it's not that far away from the actual Camp Fuji. So, all right, let's see here. We're going to take that off and answer some questions from the chat. Let's see here. Let's see here. We're gonna need a bigger boat. Oh, we actually said that. Well, we actually did have a shark. He was maybe 6, 7 feet come up and try to get the chum line off the boat, and it did bite the boat. So we did joke about that too as well. Let's see here. Tim says 57 meters down. Never shark dive in my life. Let's see here. Harry says the only thing you take with you. Okay, we did that. Bradley showed up. What's going on, bro? So, hey, I made it. Got like 3 minutes left on my break. There you go. Man. The meter mark from the post office. Yes, it was the meter mark. Cole says, have you drove through the Blue Ridge Parkway in November? Great. Yes, actually I have. It's absolutely beautiful up there. I can see the parkway from my yard. I love it. Cole says, my mom is from Spruce Pine. We used to go up there every year or two to see the family. Ah, there you go. Harry says, so you hike that with a full ruck? No, we did not. This was all a strictly civilian. We could not mark ourselves in any way. We were allowed to wear our boots, but we had to wear either blue jeans or shorts. So we were not like, in Japan, you don't go out looking like like you're in the military. It's not allowed. The Lamb's Light said Spruce Pine is way too there. I got really scared once when I had to drive up there, scared of heights. Oh, I got you. Okay. All right, so Tim, that's what you can everybody thank Tim. That's what your two hats story will get you for paying everything, for meeting all the goals. I don't know. I just saw 5 things there, so I'm guessing we made it. I just got hit with an advertisement. That is weird because advertisements should not be turned on. In fact, let me check something here real quick. Where's my stream controller? Okay, so monetization is on, but delay ads. Get here, pause delay ads. No, that's not. Yeah, the frickin' ads were on. Son of a bitch. All right, well I'm not gonna be here. I turned it off. I apologize, bro. But what we got here? Insert an ad. I don't want to insert an ad. What's this? Start a break? I don't want to do that. Apparently, I have some buttons to start breaks with and stuff like that. Create a highlight video. I don't know. I'll have to play with these at some point. Yeah, I apologize. YouTube is kind of doing whatever the hell it wants to do, guys. I mean, you guys know that that's not my thing. So I hit you in the very beginning when you turn on the stream, and that is it. So, let's see here. Okay. I think that's going to be about it. We hit our 1 hour mark, roughly. Told a couple of stories, did a little bit of hanging out. Tonight, another video is going to drop. There are going to be some major changes to the channel, guys. Can't say that they're great. but I can say that they're going to be good for me. But there's going to be some major change, so I'm going to leave hanging on that. Drama. But that'll pop out later on tonight. Kind of let you guys know what is going on in the crazy guy's brain and what needs to happen. So, do you hunt LP? No, Cole, I do not hunt. I'll be honest with you, it's kind of boring. It's kind of boring. Um, I I used to do a lot of hunting when I was in the military, scoped rifle and everything. Hopefully you're getting my drift. Let's see. I think that's gonna be about it. Yeah. Stay safe. Have a great day, and I shall see you guys when I see you. Bye bye. Later. Where's it at? Refuge, Justin. Break. Where's the button for? I don't have my fancy buttons here, so I'm looking for like how to turn this thing off. Main scene 3. Break. Refuge medical. I don't